How dare you?
I have none. I have none.
Apparently
Oh
not.
boy, no, not the slightest. But it is great to have you back home in the snowy states. It looks like. Look at that
Oh
beautiful
yeah,
wintry wonderland you got going.
If only.
Full on shovel season. You do shoveling driveways.
Oh, speaking of shoveling driveways, I come home last night. Freeform was on. Perfect timing. That fucking movie is on during the shoveling scene, right as I walked in the house.
No way. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I wanted to text you.
Hold
on. I didn't understand. I didn't realize how long that scene was. That was like a full on 5-minute scene of them talking about fucking shoveling driveways.
Talking about fucking. That's hilarious.
Oh man,
that movie was ridiculous. Folks, if you're not aware, that was what was the name of that? It's from
Godmother
2 years ago
on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yes,
3 years ago they filmed it and told Adam that he wasn't good enough to pick through the trash to get recycling, and Adam was in a deep funk of will I ever work again?
Oh.
And then I did, and then I've been unemployed for the last year. So fun times, Dennis.
Speaking of which, as I was dropping Val off at the function she was going to last night, I did see a big old billboard for the show you were working on, Julia. Yes, sir.
That's right,
down
folks.
In, Beverly Hills, just blasted out there. That was pretty awesome to see, man. Same thing.
Yeah,
if I wasn't driving, I would have taken a picture of it to send you. But
honestly, I'm bad, dude. I downloaded the 2 episodes to watch on my trip. Didn't watch them. They're probably 4 episodes deep now, episodes I worked on. But folks, if you like Julia Childs and you just want to see something again, because there's not enough Julia Child biopics out there, check out Max's original series, Julia, season 2, now streaming on Max. And my fat ass's name is in the fucking credits because I worked on it. Or if you want to watch a nice festive movie for the years, there's a movie called Black Friday. I believe it's streaming over on Starz, starring Bruce Campbell, Michael Jai White, and some other familiar faces. Yes. Check that out too. I'm just trying to promote myself here, Dennis. And if anybody's hiring, please let me know. I need that job.
And on that note, let's say we jump into this bad beezer. You ready?
Let's do it.
It's the movie toasty show. Here for you. Dennis and Adam joke about orgasms and sweet movie reviews. We talk about TV too, right?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Movie toast.
There you
Woo!
go. There.
Episode 177. We're back, baby. Woo!
Almost $2. We're almost there. Hey, man,
yes, sir.
It's good to be back. It's a little slightly elongated break, but hardly even noticeable. Folks, excited to give you some festive holiday toast this episode, as well as some
little bit.
It's a mix. It's a mix of things. I think there's fun to be had all around. A little bit of something for everybody this time. So I like when we always when we get these kinds of broad array of films going on here. But yeah, man, you had some activity. You were traveling.
Activities.
Yeah.
I was abroad. I lived 2 of our animated short films, apparently, Dennis. In our festival, Movie Toast the Festival, coming out, streaming live Saturday, December 15th. A little preview here. We got
from the time, yeah.
Oh, we got 2 animated shorts, and I feel like I lived them. I went to Thailand, and I drove in one of those tuk-tuk things, and we have a whole short about tuk-tuks in Thailand and Bangkok. And then I went to a wedding, and we have a short about weddings. So I kind of lived 2 of our shorts, and that was interesting.
That's too funny. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it barely fit in a tuk-tuk. I don't know how that elephant could do it, but he did it, goddammit.
I was going to say, did you go on any adventures? Did you go on a wacky trip through town?
I wish. No. A very slow-moving trip. But whatever. It's good. I will say, more recently, more festive. I went to a screening of Christmas Vacation with the Chevy Chase Q&A afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah,
badass.
got some free tickets. Yeah, so that was
Oh,
good.
that's cool. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
With the Chev man himself too,
With
huh?
the
That's
chef,
cool.
yeah. Although you can tell his age is catching up to him because he really had a hard time answering some questions and hearing things, but still sharp as a wit. He could see people walking out of the theater and he would pause what he's saying and start yelling at them, asking them where they're going and why they're leaving. So that was fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Still a lovable curmudgeon, huh? That's good.
Oh yeah. How about yourself? What's
Nice,
new?
nice.
What's going on?
Not bad. Had a lovely holiday. Nice quiet. We got the tree up, all decorated and stuff. It's
Nice.
It's been good. It's been good. Temperature dropped down a little bit. Got a little rain for fuck's sake. Finally, that was actually kind of nice. So a little bit of exposure to weather. Getting the Christmas shopping squared away. I got another component of the trophy ordered. I got the toast.
Oh,
So still got to decide on a film reel. We'll have to see, but that's getting tough. Getting a film reel that fits in the toaster, but well, the folks will see. The finished result will be wonderful. I promise you. I'm very excited. I want to
any
tear
prop
into that so
masters
bad,
out there, please email us at movietoastnewsandreviews at gmail.com. Not at, just movietoastnewsandreviews at gmail. Tell Dennis how to get a little rail to go inside a toaster slot. Make one for him, please. I'll pay you.
I 4.5 inch by 3/4 inch is ideal.
Simple request.
So there you go. But we'll see. We'll see. I might make one myself. We'll have to find out. Until then, though, I'm excited. I love playing around with that stuff. Had fun shooting the other stuff for the. I don't know if you got to look at any of that footage for. I
saw some stuff.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I like decking out the table, getting that done. So again, super pumped for the festival, folks. We're winding down to it.
Please. Free to watch on our YouTube page. Saturday, December 15th.
Try to make it fun.
It's on all our social media. Yeah. Good times. But before we get there, Dennis, there's a segment that we got to get to before we can even give reviews or talk about a festival.
Oh,
I think we got some theme music.
It's a fun one. Let's hit it.
I love it. All right. On episode 176, you, sir, reviewed the movie The Killer on Netflix, directed by David Fincher. So I wanted to know what the Toastie's favorite David Fincher movie was out of 7, Fight Club, Zodiac, and The Social Network. Trying to give a wide variety. Right?
Yeah. I feel like you're going to have my gut reaction is a solid split between Fight Club and Social Network. I feel like a lot of people our age are going to say Fight Club and older, and then just younger than us, people will start saying Social Network. So
possibly.
But I love 7.
Right.
I haven't watched all of Zodiac, unfortunately. I know that's
I haven't either.
Not for lack of trying.
Fantastic
it was
cast.
Every time I came across it,
tedious.
Right. It is. It's a good length one, but that's. Man, I mean, again, proof of why this guy is generally very entertaining to watch his flicks. All of these great, regarded as great films, even the one I haven't seen.
Right.
But man, I don't think I could pick just the Fight Club. Fuck it. That's the most informative, I think, for me personally. But 7 would be close after that. 7's.
I'm gonna go with those millennials in your book. I'm gonna go with The Social Network on my end.
Social Network.
I feel like I saw that twice in the theater.
Such a well-crafted movie. Like it just every moment feels very deliberate and it's very natural and
it's a story that still continues that they could do another film with, and so much has changed since that one day.
Right.
And I forgot to mention a movie I watched a while ago. I'm forgetting which movie it was, but I was so shocked in the end credits. The Winklevoss twins were the producers. I think it was God, I don't fucking remember. A couple of episodes ago. I wish I had that info in front of me, but I was like, oh wow, those guys helped make this movie. Interesting. Oh, the stock budget movie, Dumb Money. I think it was the same writer that they based the Social Network movie book came from. Yeah, and those guys were behind that. I'm like, good for them.
We're gonna
still
tell part
fixing
of the
their
story.
money.
Right.
They had nothing to do with it that I know of. Right. So the Toasties have spoken, and it's a split 16.7% for both Zodiac and the Social Network.
Really?
Even a 33.33% for Seven and Fight Club. Yeah. Right?
Dang. Okay.
You're halfway right on each of those.
Expected,
yeah.
That's unsurprising now. Everything I feel like should have got a vote. Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah. A little love everywhere.
I struggled with answering that one. Yeah, that was like, ugh. But fair enough, guys. I wouldn't have quite thought that order. I definitely thought Social Network was going to be higher up, but
I did too. But hey, at least two movies that you wanted to choose were in the top 2, so that's something.
True.
Speaking of films that are a little long and slightly based off books, I watched and reviewed on the last episode The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I think that's the full title of it. So I wanted to know what the Toasties' favorite book series turned into a feature film franchise out of Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Twilight, and The Hunger Games were.
Man.
You know what I wanted to put on there, but I'm like, I don't know if a lot of people realize they're based on books. I wanted to do the James Bond franchise because I feel like those were based on books first, but
that's funny.
I don't know.
I was going to say Jack Ryan.
Would have been pretty.
We both thought of espionage books. That's funny.
But I'm like, I'll go for a wide variety that all the kids know.
Right. Everyone's seen at least one of these, like by now.
I'm willing to bet it's probably Twilight if I had a guess. I don't know. Or maybe The Hunger Games. I don't know.
Lord of the Rings. It's like I
you
feel
haven't
like
seen
I haven't seen.
You personally haven't seen.
Not a single Twilight.
I almost put 50 Shades of Grey on there, but I'm like, you're not missing too much. They're okay.
Yeah,
but it's a toughie for me, man. I feel like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter are up there for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Lord of the Rings definitely that was an informative one. That's saw those multiple times in theaters, all but Return of the King, I think. But Harry Potter, I mean, I've probably watched each one at least 6 times. Some of them probably more than others, but
let's face it, right now
how many hours that is.
We're probably heading into a Harry Potter marathon on Freeform because they tend to pretend that's a holiday film.
Right. Oh yeah, just like I love when those. You're right. I love when those marathons happen. It's just like, and we just got the rights. Here's Star Wars for fucking 17 hours because we can. Someone will always watch it.
I mean, at least in Harry Potter's defense, it did have Christmas in them. Yeah.
Christmas. That's true. That's true.
But it wasn't the main plot. But whatevs. So yeah, 0% for Twilight.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
sorry, I cut you off there.
I was going to say it's going to be Christmas time in one of the movies I'm reviewing. Not the movie I thought. It's not a Christmas movie, but it is close to Christmas time. I didn't realize that, so that was kind of a fun surprise.
Nice.
But sorry, 0% for Twilights.
That's right. Surprising to me, this next one, Dennis. 16.7% for Harry Potter.
Oh, wow.
I thought it would be in the top 2.
Lord of the Rings is up there then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be at this point.
It's got to be.
33.3% for The Hunger Games. And not much of a surprise, 50% for Lord of the Rings. Not a big surprise.
It's a big deal. Yeah. Like that's
kind of a big deal.
They're still huge. It's got a little bit.
Hell yeah. Like, don't fool yourself. Exactly. Speaking of fantastic, a fantastic portion of our show, Dennis, is talking about movies that we've recently watched in a little segment called Reviews. And I think you get the first one tonight.
I can go for some. That I do. And as I previously teased a few moments ago, I did not realize this movie actually is set close to Christmas time. That's right. The first rainbow flick. I find it's so sad. Yes, I only finally got around to actually watching all of First Blood, but here it is, my review of First Blood. So this is the first in the Rainbow series. It's not actually called Rainbow. Yeah, go figure. This is actually the title of the book that the film is based on. Now, funny enough, coming into this, like, of course, I've seen the last two Rainbow movies for some reason, and then we've seen it spoofed so many times in all sorts of different media. Like, I feel like I kind of got it. I was just kind of always brushed off, like, all right, we know whatever. He's a badass. He's going to start shooting people. I guess there's cops in the first one. Now, finally getting into the first one, it really opened my eyes. Like, even within the first 10 minutes, I was so sucked into the movie. Not only was his stoic performance just like, it was hard to look away. I was believing this presence he was carrying on screen. The acting all around, the cast. You get Brian Dennehy is kind of your main antagonist. He's the sheriff in the town of Hope that he's traveling through. So that's it. Instead of being he's home from Vietnam War. He wants to go visit a buddy of his. Turns out he died of cancer after getting sent home from all of the Agent Orange they were using over in Vietnam. And so now he's kind of just wandering to his next thing, and he doesn't really have. That was the last guy in his unit left alive besides him, so he doesn't know what he's doing. He's wandering through town. Sheriff stops him. Dude, what are you doing here? You look like a drifter scum. Get the fuck out of here. And he's just like, he's upset. So he's like, you're not gonna tell me what to do. Turns around, walks right back into town, arrests him, throws him in jail. He starts going through all of these.
Jesus.
He starts getting war flashbacks and just snaps. And he busts out of the jail, runs out of town. They hunt him down. Like, but these cops are fucking dicks. They don't give a shit about what his experiences are. They're not thinking about the cause or like what could happen because of the actions they're committing. Dude, this movie is so fucking gritty. It is so intense. I was just enthralled from the moment you said go till the last fucking frame. This movie was so much better than I thought it was. Like, there's a reason why this is so high up on that list of, like, this isn't just a Stallone shooter. Like, this is up there. I get why Rocky's a big deal. Like, it's man. I had such a good time watching it. His performance is amazing. The cinematography is fantastic. The fact that they had shot so much of this in like all of this forest, a lot of it on location. The performances are great. Richard Crenna, Dave Caruso is in there playing one of the cops. And then Stallone just fucking kills it, man. I did watch this myself. I watched it on Pluto TV, but Adam had pointed out it is also available on Paramount Plus if you got it there. But man, it made me just want to jump right into the second movie after watching this. I couldn't recommend it enough if you've never watched it. If you just want something to break up the holiday monotony, go revisit First Blood. Holy shit. I had such a great time watching it. I'm giving it 4 slices. That was easily one of the better of like the 80s. I'm like, as much as I love so many of like the 80s big action movies, the difference between Stallone and Schwarzenegger can carry that presence so well of that intensity and just the belief in him being a badass. Stallone has a lot more depth in his acting ability that is visible on camera, and it shows in First Blood. You see range in this. Even for an action movie, like it gets brushed off with a lot of things, but this is way deeper than it seems on the surface, and couldn't recommend it enough. It's now a regular watch for me, that's for sure.
Damn. Are you going to work through the First Blood Part 2? Sorry, Rambo First Blood Part 2 and the other ones after that?
We already started watching it, but it was on the same platform, so we started to get a little worn down with all the commercial breaks, so we're going to come back to finishing Part 2. We did start it, though, so I shall be potentially reviewing. Ong Bak. What was the other one? Fuck. The martial arts movie.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, IP Man,
Ip Man, yes, yeah. Which they're making another one. We'll make another.
Of course they are, baby.
Anyways, out of
Can't stop the apes,
that's right. Donnie Yin's.
especially if you see them nips. Yeah. Wow, that's good. I'm like you. I've seen the last two films, but I've never seen any of the others. And I didn't. I don't know.
It's
You know
like-
me. You know my taste. You think I would like it though?
Yes, because it's not. That's what's
Okay.
funny is all of the other, from what I understand, all the other movies way more military based. It's way more about the blood and guts and the action, which is entertaining in its own right. The first one,
Sure.
it feels so much heavier because these are police. He's at home.
Yeah.
These should be the people protecting. You know, these are the people who are supposed to be keeping the streets safe, and they are trying to fucking hunt a man down. He's just one of the deadliest men on the planet. But that's
Fair enough.
Yeah, I genuinely believe you'd enjoy it because it's not. The later ones are nothing compared to this. That's for sure.
I
Gosh.
I can imagine.
The music in the final credits is terrible, though. I will say that song god awful. But-
Was it done by Stallone or his brother Frank Stallone?
Oh,
That'd be fun.
no.
I gotta go and I'm gonna shoot you with my guns. I'm gonna rip your throats out. I'm Stallone, baby. That's a bad. Moving on, Dennis.
Oh, I think you got a new flick up for review, not something from 1982.
A little more recent, couple weeks old at this point, but I have the follow-up to Emerald Fennell's film, Promising Young Woman, which I loved from a few years ago. This new movie, Saltburn. Now, I've seen the trailers for it. I didn't know what the fuck I was in for. I was like, this could be good. It could be terrible. It could be a very, very slow burn. It looked like it could be so many types of genres. I didn't know what the fuck I was in for. But I said, yeah, I'll catch it while it's still in theaters. And it's about this boy who is from kind of a broken family. His mom and dad are drug addicts. His dad just died. His mom's been on like a bender, and he's been studying in a prestigious college in England. And he made a friend. He's kind of like a shut-in, kind of like a book smart guy who just has no friends. But he befriends like this really rich, popular boy. And opposed to going home for summer vacation, the popular boy invites him to come stay at his estate, which is known as Saltburn, during the summer. And the family welcomes him with open arms. And this movie stars Barry Keoghan. I might be saying his last name wrong, but he's the Joker. He's in all these movies that I'm like, I don't know if I really like this guy. His face normally annoys the fuck out of me, and like his delivery is, I'm like, this guy reminds me of like the fucking Walmart Kmart version of fucking the guy everyone hates, Ezra Miller. But I'm like, whatever, okay. And the rich kid that invites him to Saltburn is played by the guy that played Elvis in that Priscilla movie. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. And like his parents are played by fucking the mother is Rosamund Pike. She's given a pretty chilling performance of like kind of rich, preppy, bitchy kind of lady. But I'll tell you, his dad's played by Richard E. Grant, and he's just having a blast. Like his character is just so silly and wacky and out there. Like at one point they're like, we're gonna have a party, and he's like, I'll wear my knight's chainmail and outfit. And sure as shit, later on this party's happening, and you just see him wearing this like fucking knight outfit, and it's like, what? So pretty much this boy goes to Saltburn, and he starts living this like life that he could only imagine in his wildest fantasies. And there's like everything and anything could happen. The boy's cousins there, the boy's sister's there, and there's always parties happening, and just wild debauchery is happening, and it just like more and more crazy shit happened in this movie. And it seems like this main character is kind of orchestrating something. He's like weaseling his way into this family, and just unsettling ways that the audience knows, but the characters in the movie don't. And we don't even fully know what's going on as the audience. And it's disturbing. There's a scene involving a bathtub that might have jizz in it. And it's just fucking, it's insane. And just hard to watch, but you can't look away. And then a scene where someone might be fully naked fucking a recently dug grave site, or someone who's going down on someone on their period. It's so many things that I'm not even, I don't even want to tell you, that each scene is more bizarre into just pushing the limits of like what the audience can handle on just like, let's be as grotesque and ridiculous as possible in the most magnificent way. I loved every second of this film. Like you never know what's going to happen. And that's fantastic. Yeah.
Can I ask how, although I haven't yet seen Promising Young Woman, how is it related to that one? Unless it gives away too much.
It's not. It's completely different, but it still has like this intensity that film had. That movie is more of a revenge film, and that movie was fantastic. One of my favorite movies of I think 2020 or 2021. Or maybe it might have been 2019. I don't know, but it was one of my favorite movies that year. So I wanted to see this just because I respected the writer, and she did Killing Eve and some other TV shows and stuff that are great. But this movie is just on its own level. What this really reminds me of is more of, it's kind of like a British version of the movie Parasite. How like you have that family that's kind of destroying this family from the inside, but it's one guy doing it, and it's more chilling and menacing because you don't know what he's doing, and it's a long con, and it's so fucking fantastic. I was glued to the edge of my seat, and the frame of it, I forget what the frame is, but it's like a giant like it's not the full. It's like I want to say 1:33:1, like the aspect ratio, and it's so sexy, and it looks like it's shot on film, and the soundtrack is fantastic. Everything about this movie from beginning to end, I was just, it was a ride, and I couldn't get enough of it. And I'm gonna, like you, follow up and give 4 slices to Saltburn. Might be one of my favorite movies of the year. And I will say, you did say what there is one kind of connection to Promising Young Woman. The star of that, Carey Mulligan, is has a cameo in this movie as a different character, of course, but. Check it out. It's in theaters. If you want to be in a theater with people reacting to the most insane shit you've ever seen, you should see it. And it is a slow burn, but it's not, because stuff's always happening, and it just flies by the film. Yeah,
nice.
I'm happy I saw it.
I want to see this thing, man.
It's definitely counterintuitive to all the happy-go-lucky movies out there right now, because there's some crazy shit, twists and turns left and right. Oh man,
that's awesome.
But yeah,
badass, man. Oh shit. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of twists and turns, I think we're gonna tag team something that's got some spooks and some scares actually to go with our counter holiday theme here to start with. Five Nights at Freddy's. That's right, folks. The hit blockbuster video game that spawned 4 or 5 sequels now, I think they're up to. And some spin-offs in the works. Finally got its feature film released. This is roughly based on the story established across a few of the games. We got a security guy. We got a guy down on his luck. Let's give you a little bit of the Mike. We got Mike Schmidt.
Synopsis.
He's
is that his last name? Funny.
Down in his luck. He's having a hard time. Yeah. He's taking care of his younger sister Abby. In order to kind of retain custody of her, she doesn't have to go to their shitty aunt. He needs to get a job. He's got to keep it. He's got to keep a roof over her head. Or, as one should. And he's trying his hardest. You see, they're having a rough go of it. After losing his last job, he gets a job or sees a job opportunity from his Matthew Lillard portrayed. What is he, like some kind of? Yeah,
he's like a hiring manager kind of person.
Yeah, a temp agency.
Yeah, a temp agency worker who happens to know of a job that would be fantastic for Josh Hutcherson's character, being a security guard at an abandoned Chuck E. Cheese type location. during the night.
It's like, don't think about it too hard, kid. Just it's closed. Just go sit and guard this thing. And like right away, I was already like, oh, awesome. At least I've played the first game. I know enough of the story of the second one. I'm like, okay, I already see the pieces coming together. This is cool. Even the trailer, like I was excited when I saw that. I'm like, all right, this is intriguing. I'm digging into this.
Yeah.
And then he unfortunately he has to bring his sister to work one night, and that's when shit really starts cracking up. And
right, it takes a while before it gets there, but it's still fun. Yeah.
Yes. It takes a weird turn though. We're buddy chummy with Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we all just want to go play. We just want to run around the. It's like, and I got to be honest. By that point, I was like, "Whoa! Wait, hold on! You got me all jazzed with the murders, like the violence they were teasing.
We even hear that they murdered kids in the past. Yeah.
Yes. And now it's like, oh, okay. I'm not like the anxiety didn't even linger. You just kind of washed all of it away. Giving us all the stuff, I thought at least, and then it starts taking this other weird turn. It becomes another movie after a while. I kind of think it's like
a little bit
that those horror elements that freak me with the people that we depicted trying to break into the place, trying to fuck the place up so he loses his job. That was awesome.
Oh yeah,
I liked all of that action.
Bullshit. Really?
That was like,
I like seeing them get killed, but that whole plot, I'm like, I don't fully buy it, but okay. But yeah, that scene was great, I thought.
So I'm with you. The scene was great. The storyline, I'll give you, because that's like almost directly from the game. They want to trap you inside. Okay. That's where the robot's motivation comes from. But it's because of the shit that happened in the past. It's it's kind of funky. The beginning and the end are kind of reminiscent of the story of the game. Everything else, they're just pulling out of I don't know where. Not that should matter. But at the end of the day, the storyline was still, after the first 20 minutes, the rest of it was downhill for me. I had a hard time sticking with it. And even normally I like a lot of this guy. I don't mind Josh Hutcherson. I like Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Wasn't liking him in this, man.
I think if we got more,
it was rough.
If we got more of what happened at the very end of the film, I feel like that would have been the path to go for a full film. But I get that's hard to do for a full 90-minute movie, but it's like that's kind of what people are going there for. I'm intrigued.
Exactly.
You know they're going to do a sequel. This movie made a shitload of money. I killed it on Peacock. It's still in theaters 2 months later at this point. And still I don't know, man. Yeah. And I feel like at some points they look cool, but other points,
as of this recording,
it looked a little CG for my taste at some points, which was kind of annoying.
Dude, there was a few of them. Like, and I get it's interesting. It's like they had to cut certain corners here because they gave you so much over there. You had certain amounts of practical effects, but then all of a sudden it would give way to, here's this huge CG sequence that I'm sorry. It took me out a couple of times where I was just like, oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
The backgrounds, like there's some full locations that were like fully CG'd rooms. I was just like, it's forgivable.
Questionable.
Something like, I don't know. I was fine with it in Haunted Mansion. Couldn't stand it in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel
fair enough.
I feel like because less of this could have been. Like, I feel like so much of this movie, other than specifically what some of the robots were doing, some of the cast members are doing. I don't know, man. I wanted to like this a lot more than I did, for sure.
Now, I think
it has all those elements of nostalgia.
Because you watched this on Peacock, I watched this in the theater opening night. I feel like our vibes are different. Like, I didn't play the game, you played the game. Like, if the audience for me, I think, made it more enjoyable because people react at the dumbest things, the audience members, and like get excited over little things. It's like that gets you excited, but it's just you and another person at home. It's like, okay, maybe not, but 100% agree with what you're saying. But the atmosphere, I think, changes. And it was weird to me because there were like young kids, like 4 or 5 year old children in the theater and up. And I'm like, I get that this game's made for kids, but I feel like a little bit of this should not have been seen for kids that young.
See, that's what's funny to me. I don't think, because in my opinion, I really don't think the game's necessarily made for kids so much as it is accessible to them because it was such an independent group. For those who don't know, it's a lot of still images. Basically, there's very little like animated movement until they fucking jump out at you and they until they kill you, until the very the worst thing happens. So there was all of these other elements of his journey through the dreams and stuff, and like some of this was just starting to get so long-winded. I was just
it was repetitive. His backstory was too repetitive.
Yes, very much so. And then to have every single little thing connect together. I'm sorry, the cop. Like as soon as we met the cop, I was just like, "Don't, no." She just shows up out of nowhere.
Everything was up in the nose. Yep.
Absolutely every moment of it, and that's why I wanted to like it so much more. I'm with you. The atmosphere, I'm sure would have helped, but as you saw, how much can you help? It just starts to drag.
I will say I like this movie better than the Banana Splits, and I liked it better than not Wally's World, whatever the Nick Cage one was. But I don't know. It wasn't there. But yeah, if you want something interesting, I'd say watch the Nick Cage. I think it's Willy's Wild World or something like that. That one is more interesting. One man, it's more like the video game from what I'm imagining, and there's no dialogue, and it's Nick Cage. I don't know, but we're talking Five Nights at Freddy's. Will you see the sequel when it comes out? It's inevitably coming.
I don't know. I think this by the end of it, I was so ready for it to be done that I don't know. You'd have to I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe, but depending on what else is available, and even then, that's a big maybe at the most.
Now, slice wise, what are you giving Five Nights at Freddy's?
1.5. Gets. And that's all based on like the first 20 minutes or so. 20, maybe 25.
Fair enough.
And then after that, I'm just like, I can't stand it. I don't know. The music was kind of fun. I like that retro, the throwbacks with the 90s jams in there, trying to do the Chuck E. Cheese vibes. But, man, I couldn't recommend this to anyone, really.
Wow. Yeah. And the fact is, it's free if you have Peacock, which is the craziest part. I'm going to ride the similar type of line as you. I'm going to say Five Nights at Freddy's for me, 2 slices of toast. So slightly higher, but still on the same playing field as yours.
Yeah. Not much better.
Right. I'm gonna move us along here. If that's good with you. To my next film.
Lighten it up. Yeah. Let's brighten things up a little bit here. What you got for us?
I got the latest Disney movie, Wish. So this movie is returned to form slightly for Disney with a little bit of hand-drawn activity. Like it's a hand-drawn / CG blend, and it looks visually stunning. I do like it. I mean, a little bit too much CG, but it still has that hand-drawn look that you know and love. But the story itself, so it's about this young woman. She is interviewing to become the king / sorcerer's apprentice. They live in this kingdom where when you turn 18, you hand over your wish to the king. He erases the wish from your head altogether. He has it, and then one day you hope that he'll grant it. And when he grants it, you'll remember what the wish is, and you'll be happy as can be.
Oh, wow.
And on this day of her interview, she happens to say, hey, could you maybe grant my grandfather's wish? I apologize. She calls him something else, but it's her grandfather. Ultimately, it's his 100th birthday, and the king takes a look at it and he's like, "I'm sorry, this wish is too dangerous. It could harm people, and I just can't do it. I'm sorry." Oh. And she's like, "Wait a minute, let me take a look at that." And she looks, and it's her grandfather with the fucking guitar in the center of town playing music, dancing for people. And she's like, what are you talking about? This is not dangerous. He's trying to bring joy to people. And she realizes that this guy is kind of playing favorites and there's something off about him. she wants to exploit that at this point. She doesn't get the job, of course. And when her family, she tells her family and friends, they all think she's crazy. She makes a wish on a shooting star, and that shooting star comes to life and comes to help her. Turns her 3-week-old goat into a talking goat, which is by far my favorite part of the movie. He's delightful and cute. And it's about her and her friends trying to exploit the king. And now the king is like, he's on a high. He's doing stuff that he shouldn't be doing with magic. Even his wife is like, what the fuck is going on here? But the story, it's just, it feels flat. It feels stale. Feels like this type of thing's been done before. The whole movie, I was uninterested from beginning to end. The music was lackluster. They're trying to make these poppy hit fun songs kind of like Moana, but it just is not good. I don't know. And maybe I'm just not the right audience. I'm not the right age. But for me, this movie was a total miss, a disaster. Bummer. I mean, I don't think it is, maybe because this movie it's flopping. And it's sad because I want good things for Disney, but I don't know. I had a course correction. Like, honestly, the past couple, I like Moana. I could stand. I wasn't a giant fan, but Encanto, I did not like, but people loved it. So maybe it's just me. I don't know. But maybe when this comes out, I think here's the issue. Everyone is always like, well, I don't got to rush out to the theater to see Disney movies. It'll be on Disney Plus soon. So people probably are waiting for that. So maybe it will find its audience there and I'll be like, oh, I'm an idiot. People love it. But for right now, where I stand, Wish is a one slicer for me. It just did not do it, and I wish it did do it.
Ouch. Yeah. That's too. Oh yeah, and you really wish it did.
Yeah, like I said, visually pleasing, but nothing. Besides a talking fucking goat, and the star's cute, but yeah, no, thank you.
I've seen
bad.
Better. Well, shoot.
Yeah,
I gotta. Well, if you wish for a new Christmas flick to add to your list, I think my next review might come into your queue if it isn't there already. I have a feeling it may be. How about a little?
I downloaded this movie to watch. I haven't.
Oh, you did?
Sorry. Yeah,
that's all good.
I just couldn't get to it.
Best Christmas ever. That's right. So this is a fun new flick from Netflix. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Here, let me. Oh. My bad. Lost my place there.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
This is
on
a
Netflix.
new flick from Netflix, starring Heather Graham, Brandy, Jason Biggs, and Matt Cedeno. It is telling a story of these two. It's these two women who were friends years and years ago, and they kept in loose contact over time. Brandy used to be Heather Graham's husband's girlfriend back in the day. And supported him playing music and stuff, and cheerleader. But they're we're all good, we're all kosher, we're all friends now. Everyone's married, and we've lived these lives. We've got our kids that do amazing things on one side, and her whole thing is she can't get over all of her newsletters that she sends out. She just seems so fucking larger than life, and everything seems so made up, and she just can't believe it. And
who's this Heather Graham?
They're going to go and celebrate their Christmas. Heather Graham. Yeah, sorry. Heather Graham. Can't believe Brandy lives this fabulous life. Like, she's like, this has got to be lying her ass off. There's no way. They're going to go take their Christmas vacation, Jason Biggs and Heather Graham and the kids, and some wackiness happens, and the wrong address gets added into the phone, and they drive like hundreds of miles out of the way to Brandy's house, and kind of just like crash their house. Oh God! No,
how the fuck does that happen? Come on!
I was already like, oh my God, am I even going to finish this? So we get to Brandy's house, meets her gorgeous husband, and it's this whole like, oh my God, it's true. But she's like, no, I don't believe it. There's got to be some there's something wrong here. And she keeps like snooping through her shit, and they've got all this stuff in their local town that they do all this cool Christmas celebratory things. And
of course,
Heather Graham keeps fucking things up, and Jason Biggs is like, "Why are you trying to mess things up?" And
for a pie.
having, oh yeah, and like she starts getting worried they have a relationship that they're maintaining or something, and it gets so fucking cheesy. And then we start combining the storyline. The kids are like, so Brady's daughter, super fucking smart, and she's getting together with Heather Graham's kids who aren't as smart, but they're all trying to determine whether or not Santa Claus is real. So now there's like this B story of the kids are like launching this investigation to try to get the truth whether or not Santa's real, while the parents are trying to settle their stuff out. And dude, I wanted to pull my fucking hair out. If this isn't the most, I was so bored, and it is so like, I know I've seen better performances out of all of these people before. This combination of all of them in one place was horrific. I mean, I wanted to like this, especially like after seeing the trailer, like, okay, this could be kind of fun. I'm like, all right, this is like, we got a little American Pie action. We got freaking Hangover Baby Mama. No.
Fantastic cast.
It should be. It should be so much more excited for this, but I'm not. Yeah, man. We just get, and then the end, we start, oh God, there's a hot air balloon and a fucking solar powered engine thing. Brandy's a fucking, oh God, I don't know. It just, it gets so over the top. I cannot even possibly recommend this movie either. Like,
damn.
I wanted to find another fun Christmas movie to add to the group, and just this isn't it, folks. Worst Christmas ever. Please don't. I'm giving it one slice of toast, just one.
We are killing it with our reviews this week. Top-notch films.
Yeah,
it's funny.
We're right, hot and cold.
But before I took my trip, I downloaded this to potentially watch, and then I watched the trailer after I downloaded it. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm like, maybe the cast, but I'm happy someone else watched it for me. Maybe I'll move past that one. I also have a new Netflix holiday film, Dennis. I have the new Netflix holiday film, Family Switch, starring Ed Helms and everyone's favorite Elektra, Jennifer Gardner, and some other people's, and a lot of some cameos in here, which are pretty good. So you got your typical family. You got a dad who wants to relive his glory days and have a band. You got a teenage son who's nerdy and can't talk to girls. You got an all-star soccer player daughter, an architect mom who is just killing it at work. You got a baby and a dog, and what happens? They all switch places, Dennis. Right as the biggest events in their life are happening. The mom is about Friday a big presentation at work. Oh, yeah. A four-way Freaky Friday. So, yeah, three-way. Four-way. Three-way. Yep. I need to learn to count. So the mom is giving a big presentation, and the daughter's taking over her body. Uh-oh. The daughter, there's a big scout coming from college coming to see a soccer game. Mom doesn't know how to play soccer. The son has an early interview to go to a prestigious college, even though he's in high school now. But the dad's not very smart, and the dad has a big band show that I don't know if I lost track of something somewhere, but I think maybe they're auditioning to be on America's Got Talent. Because Howie Mandel comes and he could go to Hollywood. And I'm like, okay, but the son doesn't really know music. And the baby's a baby and the dog's the dog. But I will say it's fantastic seeing the dog walk around like a baby and use like a kid squatty potty, and the kid's acting like a dog. And it's funny because the guy that was shaming him earlier, who's great at training dogs, is our main character from Army of Thieves, our favorite character from Army of the Dead. He's that guy, and he's like,
I love that guy.
And they're like, hey, could you look after our dog and our baby while we take care of this crazy stuff? And he's like, sure, I'll get them in ship-shape top condition. And he's like, something's wrong. The dog's acting like a kid's acting like a dog. And it sounds so dumb. It sounds terrible. But something about this movie was so damn delightful. And this is happening all leading up to Christmas. And they have to switch back before this full moon thing that won't happen for another couple hundred years. But it's a delightful movie. Like, it's just really fun, lighthearted. Sure, there's a lot of things that are unrealistic. You got a Freaky Friday. And of course, when they all switch, they all have different, like, they're all saying different names of titles of movies that they're living through. And of course, it's just wacky like that. And it's directed by McGee.
Trailer, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And it's just, it's a fun time. I will say, the one thing that it had me, it takes place in California. I forget where exactly. But at the end of the movie, it's snowing. And I'm like, in what world in Los Angeles is it snowing on Christmas Day? I don't know. Whatever. But this I won't say is a perfect Christmas movie. It really doesn't have a lot going on Christmassy, but it's lurking in the background. They talk about Christmas, and that. And, but overall, if you're looking for something different, this is a fun, wholesome movie. Ed Helms is giving a fun little performance, and when is Jennifer Gardner not delightful? And it's a fun time. I'm gonna give it 2.5 slices of toast. Not perfect, not terrible.
All right,
worth a little watch. Yeah,
I was going to say worth a sit down. That sounds like something worth checking out. Nice. Okay,
and it's Netflix. So if you don't like it, you can move on to Best Christmas Ever.
Yeah, double feature. There you go.
Yeah.
Well.
But you got a movie coming up next. Yes. Right. I wanted to review last episode this film, but our embargo was not up at the time. But we can finally talk about Melissa McCarthy's Genie.
Yeah. All right. Sticking with the holidays here. This is a Peacock original film that, as Adam said, starring Melissa McCarthy and Papa Ezeidu. I want to make sure I hopefully said that right.
Sure.
And a little action from some Alan Cumming and Mark Maron in there sprinkled in. Tell the story. Our main guy, Bernard, he works for this high-end auction house, high-end art. He's clearly worked right up through it's winter in New York. He's worked right up through his daughter's birthday. It's late in the evening. He's run home late. He's fucked up again. Wife is mad. She's like, all right, you know what? We need some space. You've done this way too much. This was like your last chance to try to amend, like to get it right, and you fucked up again. So his life is just starting to crumble. He loses his job the next day, and at the end of everything, shitty panic, like birthday present he tried to give his daughter was left behind. She didn't even take it with her when his wife took her daughter to their grandparents' house. So he picks it up, dusts it off, and out comes a smoky Melissa McCarthy, a genie who's been trapped for, what do you say, 2,600 years or something they figured out? Or
something crazy like that.
Something fucking crazy. She's Celtic, like hunter warrior. I think we find out who has a curse placed on her, and she's been trapped in there. And she served other people in the past, but she always ends up back in this box. And here's his chance to finally experience life with a genie and trying to maybe right some of those wrongs as best he can. Yeah, it's a fun, wacky time, though. I think it's interesting. Obviously, you're going to get some silliness with Melissa McCarthy, and I think I loved the two of them together. Their chemistry was entertaining, with him being the straight man for her to keep bouncing off of. Yeah, I thought it kept me there. I was
I feel like she wasn't full Melissa McCarthy. She had a throttle going, which worked just right. That fine line, not over the top, but just there.
Exactly.
And I really loved
knowing exactly that. Yeah. Sorry. I totally agree with you.
No.
100%.
Yeah. And I loved her. She had this little like fling going with Mark Maron, who was playing like a doorman. The two of them had this weird flirtation going on, which was interesting. And
that was
even like there's so many things that you question in the movie, and then the movie just calls out. It's like, oh, now his family's going to see this random woman living with them and question it. Okay, they call that out.
I love that.
Cool. Yeah.
The script was kept like constantly pointing back out these things. The fact that the audibleness of the wish thing, like, so obviously you can't just speak it out into it's not Genie from Aladdin. You can just speak it out into the air, and he will always be aware of it. Or in this case, she will be able to honor the wish. It's like it's very literal. She has to hear it. It's whatever wishes you want, but they can't affect this and that, and
gets them in some sticky situations.
It does. Yes,
yeah.
That was.
I love
like,
Luis Guzman's performance.
Oh my god, that was funny. And although limited, it was funny. It was funny.
And I mean, it's a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas, but it's not very Christmassy, really, which is interesting. Like they hit some points, but it doesn't feel Christmassy.
Too much. That's a good point.
But it's fine. Like it's a delightful little
making
film.
A gingerbread house. They're not. Yeah, it is.
They see Santa.
The focus is. Oh my god, yeah. That was a funny. I like that. And again, we're pointing out the fact that yes, all of these things are just appearing, and that's why everyone's freaking out. Like this movie was aware enough of itself. It didn't go way too over the top, except for maybe a certain scene with I don't want to spoil it, I guess, but they take a trip around town. Can we phrase it that way? I'm trying to. They see all the highs and lows of.
Sure. I will say.
There we go. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts, I think, was in movies, normally when they're shooting them, and you can tell when they were filmed because I'll be like, oh, there's a poster for a movie or something here or there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This one stood a little true. I mean, sure, she does fall in love with Tom Cruise and see the latest Mission Impossible movie at the Times Square AMC. But in the background, in New York City and whatnot, you're seeing posters for Migration, which is the new movie that Universal's Animation's putting out with Illumination, I believe. And so that I'm like, oh my god, they did their due diligence. That's coming out right around the same time as this. Little synergy going there, kind of like how in I think fucking Despicable Me 3, one of the little girls had a Grinch sweatshirt on, and the Grinch wasn't even out yet. But I like how they can plant little seeds in these movies that then pay off later on. I don't know,
right?
A dumb little minute detail I really liked about it.
I love that shit, though. No, that's great. That's good. Good eye. Yeah. Good eye. I thought it was a charming film. It was heartwarming, especially by the end of it. Yeah. The end of it, I really enjoyed that twist there. It's like you knew you were going to see her again, but I wasn't quite expecting that. I was like, oh, wow, okay. And it's like I like where we landed. I like where they ended up, and it was a good ride. It wasn't.
I think
there was so much of it. Like I felt it had a lot of heart. I felt a lot of what was happening. Like especially going through the 100%. Holidays, and the situation would be really tough. And yeah, I would enjoy it. This is a Christmas movie. The first holiday movie we reviewed. I would encourage to add to your list if you haven't yet, folks.
Now,
checking out. I would say.
I was excited because it was written by Richard Curtis, who is the writer-director of Love Actually. And I'm like, oh, that's a good Christmas movie that's not fully all at Christmas. His characters. And like we said, this is exclusively on Peacock. So you got to have Peacock to see it, or you can get a free sample of Peacock. But a fun time. What would you rate Genie?
I'm giving it 3 slices of toast. I laughed out loud. I felt the emotions. I was all about it. I think this is one that a large audience actually could enjoy. Watch it as a family. Watch it with your friends. Like it's definitely one of those. It's a good time to have. It is definitely worth adding to the queue for sure. What about you, man?
And I'm gonna give it a 2.5 slices. Okay, pretty good. I wanted a little more Christmas out of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that would have been drastic as fuck. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Like you said, delightful film. Nothing major wrong with it.
This was like mostly visual, right? Like there was only a couple of elements where they actually involved the holiday, but it's kind of I take that as maybe that they're trying to skirt the line just so it's like, oh, but you can watch it any time of year. It doesn't have to be. They didn't want to force calling it a Christmas movie. But I like seeing New York like that. And, although I'm sure it's way more done up in real life than what they were able to do for the movie. But
probably.
Yeah. Interesting.
Sweet.
Yeah. See, just within that narrow, another half slice within each other. I like that.
There we go.
All right, man.
So I'm gonna
this next one.
wrap this
I'm
up.
bummed. I missed out. Yeah.
I'm let down. I thought we were gonna tag team this one, but I'm gonna have to go solo on the latest and greatest return of Godzilla Minus One. So this is the latest Godzilla film. This is essentially a reboot, a retelling of the origin of Godzilla. Takes place right around the end of World War II and the fallout of World War II. We're following a kamikaze pilot who chickened out of actually doing a kamikaze attack. And by saying he had a faulty plane, he went on this little island, had some mechanics look at it. And as they were looking at it, Godzilla attacked, and he had the chance to use the plane to attack Godzilla and hopefully save the lives of all these innocent mechanics. And he freezes. So he ends up going back to Japan right after the war ends. And you think maybe he'd get a hero's welcome, but everyone's kind of he's disgraced because he didn't do what his job was. And he didn't, if he was to maybe do the right kamikaze attack, it could have swayed fucking the war in Japan's favor. And his homeland is destroyed. It's devastated. Brutal. Like his home's gone, his family's gone, his friends are gone, everyone he knows and love. He has nowhere to go. And he stumbles upon this young woman who has a baby, and we find out it's not even her baby. As everything was going to shit, she saved a baby, and she was raising this baby on her own, and he kind of gives her a hand, and then we do a little bit of a time jump, and things are looking good for him. He's kind of has this like new family with the woman and the baby, and he has a job, and they have a new house. And then, of course, Godzilla is starting to attack the rebuilt land that is Japan. And of course, now it's he has the chance to make up for what he fucked up earlier, and he can attack it. And so he and a task force kind of comes up with the plan of how to attack Godzilla, but easier said than done, of course. And that's kind of where we're at. And this movie is visually stunning. The CG, for the most part, is fantastic. There was only maybe one or two little moments that I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. Like there was a scene with a tank, and a tank looked a little very CG, and a scene with a train that looked a little CG, but everything else, Godzilla looked immaculate. He was just ferocious. I saw this in Adobe Theater, so the sound was just so intense and just, oh my god, it was freaking it sounded great, and it was scary. There was a sense of danger, and yes, we focus a lot on this human story, and we don't fully know why Godzilla's there, but we don't give a fuck, and he's just fucking shit up, and it's great. If I had to compare this, like honestly, the American Godzilla movies haven't fully hit for me. The last Japanese Godzilla movie I remember seeing, I think, is Shin Godzilla, which was good, but this movie was so much better. This might be one of my favorite Godzilla movies, and it was done for, I think, maybe $5 million, and it looks so much better than some of these big budgeted superhero movies. Like I don't know how they stretched $5 million into making this movie so fucking great, and it's brutal. At one point, you're only halfway through the movie, and we find out that 30,000 people have been killed by the destruction of Godzilla, and that's only halfway through the movie, and he's wreaking havoc. And it made me wonder, everyone's always running in the same direction. They're running away from Godzilla in the same direction. Why the fuck don't people run past Godzilla where he's already destroyed shit? I mean, I feel like that's the right way to go, because he's not going to backtrack. I was thinking this. That was my only flaw with the movie. And the other issue I had, all this death and destruction, I don't think we see any blood. No one bleeds, and there's no blood. I picture pools of blood, but that is a minor detail that I can live without, because the story was so rich, and the monster was everything you wanted out of a monster, and a Godzilla, not a monster, out of a kaiju. And it just looks so great. And like, the way his powers work were fantastic. The way they defeat him is great. And of course, they leave it that he might be able to come back. and it makes me want to watch more Godzilla movies. I got to go back. I haven't seen so many, but also if you're riding the high of Godzilla on Apple TV Plus, you got to check out Monarch. That show is fantastic. But a different version.
Right.
That's more the MonsterVerse American version, and very good because that is after all this shit's happened in Japan and the world is used to kaijus and they have plans in place. And it's kind of a good 1-2 punch. Watch this and watch that because you're like, oh shit, you can see connective tissues even though they're different universes. But I can't say enough. I might see this again. It's worth seeing in a theater, getting everyone's reactions, just hearing the gasp and the audio, like sighs of relief in certain moments. And oh my God, Godzilla Minus One playing in theaters right now. I'm going to give it 3.5 slices of toast. If the CG was better in some of those moments, we saw more blood, I'd give it more, but worth a watch. If you like Godzilla, you like Kaiju, you like monster films, this is definitely one for you. Yeah, definitely.
Man, I think we're going to have to go check this out in the theater. I was so excited to see this one, and I was so bummed I missed it, but happening for sure. No, I'm curious. So is there any mention of is that like established bet in this, or is this its own thing entirely?
This is a completely like reboot. First time we've seen any of these monsters or creatures. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a hard reset, which is a fun reset, honestly. I think it's definitely worth checking.
Oh man, that ass, dude.
Yeah.
Bruce
but I think that brings us to the end.
That's fucking cool. that does it, man.
Yeah.
Wow. No, we had I'm just looking back at our script. We got some 4s, we got some 1s where covered all the bases when it comes to reviews for this. The slices. I love that. Sure. I love that. Big variety, folks.
All over the place.
Please, I hope we found something that sparks your interest. Maybe something to put on the queue. Maybe something to take off the queue. But if you're still looking for something else to watch, Adam, I think there's a little something coming up here in just a few short days now.
Yeah, man. December 15th. Saturday, December 15th. Sorry. I think we're going with a 3 p.m. East Coast time, noon on the West Coast. I don't know, EST, PST,
Saturday,
whatever
December
the fuck they are.
16th.
Okay, yes. 15th is a Friday.
Sorry.
My apologies.
I wanted to get I just want to make sure it's let you folks know. December 16th for sure. It'll be in the afternoon.
And if you want more,
keep your eyes peeled for the deets hitting the socials.
Gonna be over on our YouTube page, a live version of it happening. We'll be there to chat and talk to the audience. A lot of fantastic short films. I know we say that every year. If you've seen any of our festivals in the past, this one's even better. This is a hell of a lot better.
No, I know we say that every year, but it's just so impressive. The quality of the work that is being shared with us, the
outstanding
level of attention, and just what people can continue to do, either from incredible means. It's amazing to see how much story is told with very, very few simple tools. It doesn't matter how big or small your budget is. If you put your heart and soul into it and you're present for making that film, you can tell a great story.
Yes.
Super excited for that festival, man. December 16th. Oh, yeah. Better be there, folks.
100. And if you want some more Movie Toast action, you can head over to our socials at Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all at movie_toast. Or just search for Movie Toast News and Reviews. Every day there is a new review for a film or a show or a trailer reaction video. Just something different every day. And you can take part in our polls. Like at the top of the show, we always do polls, and you can be a part of that action.
And watch it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. We'll have him back shortly. Just in case you are watching us now, or you're watching us after we broadcast this, we are also a podcast. So please go check out all of your favorite podcasting platforms, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any of the major ones. We're there. Movie Toast news and reviews. Please subscribe. Come check us out. We've got tons of past episodes. You can go back and roll through reviews from things all over, not only the past 3 years, but all sorts of classics, and then a lot of things that we were able to get our eyes on before they were released. So please go check out the podcast. If you haven't given us a listen yet, we'd appreciate it. Say you've done that already. Go on over to Apple Reviews. Go on over to Apple Podcasts and please leave us a review. We want to improve the show, try to get it as best we can for you, or just want to try to get a good sense of what you're liking, what you're not liking about the show, and get this toast as golden and delicious as we possibly can.
Truth.
And I think there he is. That's right, man. You made it just back in time.
Whew. That's for sure.
Send us.
Yeah, to get out of this bitch. We're going to just ask y'all. Stay toasty.
Oh, yeah. That toast, baby.
That's the right length. I can't believe we had that other shit the whole time.
20-minute long.
I thought
symphony.
I fucking had it, dude. I saw my video froze, but I'm like, I'll keep talking, and then it's like, nope, fucking whole internet froze. Sorry.
No. All good. No, man. It's all good.
At least we made it to the end of the episode. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Val, I think you're one of those guys. Whoever the other person is, very, very much appreciate the thumbs up and the hearts. Until next time.
Appreciate you joining. There you go.
Godzilla.
There's love there.
There we go.
Little shout out.
There we go. Look at that dog. Woo.
It's a cute dog.
All right. Catch you on the flip side. Oh. Boy, oh boy. Thank you for that.
Flippity flip.
Bam.